Networking is a lot like farming, and in this week's entry I'm going to explain to you why. I am learning to thrive in the gig economy. Would you like to learn too? I picked up a new client this week, and this was a marketing agency that I had met back at the beginning of the spring. Might have even been the end of winter, around that time, February, March. I met her at a Chamber of Commerce meeting, and she told me right up front she had no work for me, plain and simple. But I told her a little bit about what I was doing and what have you, and a few months later, she reached out to me and said, hey, I write this column for a online publication, and you have some interesting things to talk about as far as public speaking. Would you mind me interviewing you for the magazine? So I said, of course. So I did that with her. And I got on her email list. Every week she sends out a marketing tip to people. And on occasion, when I thought it was appropriate, when I had something that I wanted to respond to, her marketing tip, I would send her an email saying, hey, that's a great idea, or this is what I do, things like that. Months go by. And then this week, she reaches out to me and says, hey, I've got this project coming up. Can you do it? Can you help me with it? I've taken on this new client. Who knows if it works out, maybe, you can have a monthly thing with me. And who knows where it might go in the long run. But let's just do this one project. Now that took 7-8 months of reaching out to her, just keeping my name in front of her. And yet, something's come out of it, So that's kind of like why I say networking is a little bit like farming, because you're planting seeds. And you don't know how many of them's going to grow. You don't know how many of them's not. Maybe none of them. But it might take months before somebody you talk to comes around and says, hey, now that I think about it, I do have something for you. There's a fellow, a small businessman downtown in where I live. And a very nice guy. Very nice guy. And I've met him around the same time I met this marketing agency person. And he's never had any work for me. But here's the thing. I bump into him all the time. At the coffee shop, at the bar, at a restaurant. I always see him. And he always says hi, and I always say hi. And it's just a decent way for me to keep my name in front of him. Because I can tell you, if he needs an editor, if he needs a writer, who's he going to think of? He's going to think of the guy who keeps bumping into him at the bar and at the coffee shop, right? And the same thing's for me. If I ever need a service that he provides, well, he's the guy I'm going to go to, obviously, because I see him all the time. Why wouldn't I? So that's the key point of networking. You got to get out there. You got to talk to people. Not necessarily looking for business right away, but just to let them see you, keep you in their minds, and you keep them in your mind, because who knows, maybe someday you'll be able to help them out too. So anyway, that's my philosophy on networking. Do you have a different philosophy? What do you think about it? I'd really love to hear it. If you want to put your comments down below, I'd really appreciate it. And please like this video. YouTube's really looking for those likes. And share it and subscribe.